Okay, so this is the second match in the 4NCL 45-minute 15-second increment tournament, the Hull online tournament. Yesterday's match was very quick. I don't think this one's going to be quick. Looks like this guy's a member of this site. Just bring the knight out, just keep it normal, try not to do anything extravagant, but if they do something strange then I need to really sit back and just have a look. It's not a blitz match, it's 45 minutes. Alright, he likes to bring the knight out, does he? So push through the centre as we do normally. It's being very cagey, so we'll capture. That all seems pretty normal so far. If we see something unusual, so they brought the knight out, we could capture his knight, then he develops in here. Could develop my knight just to... If I develop my knight, he's going to move his knight, and I think it becomes more deadly. If I take and captures, well, he captures inside. Slows down my castling. I don't want to slow down my castling. Interesting. Okay, if I was playing a quick game here, I'd just take the knight off the board. Bet you any money he moves his knight. Let's defend the pawn here, developing a piece. Ah, he doesn't. Okay. So he wants this knight to be taken. Interesting. So if I came back, that's going against what I do, isn't it? So I'm just going to capture. Okay, yeah, so we've got this might be a long game. This might go the distance, potentially. It's got white square. Bishop can come here. So hopefully I've made space for my castling. So that all seems pretty straightforward. He'll probably want to make space for his castling as well, so that bishop will be coming out. But I can't speak for them, I'm just trying to preempt any nice basic simple moves, any unusual moves I can't really see at the moment. He could blast through the centre with his d-pawn onto our bishop. I don't know if that's a good enough exchange for them or not really. Only issue I have with this type of opening is this b-pawn. Yeah. You know, they end up attacking it because this is open here. So got to be mindful of that. But can't think too defensive, got to think attack as well. My bishop's got a nice diagonal on towards their king area. So this is a stark difference to yesterday's match. Which was over in 8.5 minutes. It's a big thing, but the bishop well, I can't really see them queenside castling, so the dark square bishop is going to have to come out, unless of course he's one of those players that isn't bothered about castling the king. So hopefully we can take advantage of that if they are that type of player. This is one of those situations where I think I've mentioned before, where players take a long time over an obvious move, which is the bishop moving out of the way so that the king can castle. And this is typically one of those situations where, like we've just said, spend a lot of time on a simple move, and it's really weird. So he's come down attacking the knight because he wants this pawn here. So we have options. We can bring our queen here to defend the pawn. Could bring the bishop out to defend the knight, but then obviously bishop takes, and then he gets the pawn. Or we can bring our bishop back here, blocking our queen's passageway, protecting the pawn. So he still gets to double our pawns upon this side. We could go and castle, but then he takes, we take, and he still wins the pawn. So the only option really, well, is being happy to double the pawns. And in our previous videos, obviously we said we don't have an issue doubling the pawns because it gives space for our rooks to get activated. We've got to make sure that we're either defending this pawn or we can make this pawn a positive pawn. In the meantime, they're thinking of castling. So if I come back and be defensive with the bishop, or I develop my own bishop and x-ray through to his queen, so then his knight can't take the pawn when his bishop takes. So we'll end up with double pawns anyway, but at least we're not going to lose this pawn here. So I'm going to bring the bishop out and x-ray through to the queen because it helps develop a piece, gets my pieces activated rather than being defensive. That's my thought process. So did I take as long as that my opponent took with doing that simple move? So 9 times out of 10 the opponents, if they double pawns, they feel good that they've doubled pawns. So I think the bishop will take the knight, but he may go and castle first as well. One of those. Because he'll still have the option of taking the knight, because I'll be obviously going to castle, so he'll still have the tempo to actually take my knight. Okay, this seems like it's going to be a long game. I want a long game, but not like a hard fighting game. Nobody really wants one of those, really. Yes, you want to test your skills and stuff, but there's limits to the pressure. So you've got to take your hat off to a player who's actually playing how you would play over the board. I think I've said it before, most of the players that I've seen when I've played over the board, they don't really do quick moves. More the youngsters probably will do quick moves, because they're just learning, and they're really good sometimes. They'll just bam out the moves and shock and surprise a few people. But on the whole, the more experienced players take a longer time with the moves. So the queen's come down, doubling up. Aggressive player. He's not even thinking about castling or anything. Yeah, the knee-jerk reaction would be to bring the bishop back to attack here, because if we allow him to take the knight, then the pawn takes, then the queen takes as well. So it looks like our queen is going to have to get into the game. The problem with that is, if we put the queen there, yeah, because the queen has moved now from behind the knight can freely take this pawn. Yeah, and then my knight can't really take back because the bishop takes my queen. So that's very clever. Yeah, always got to ask a question when somebody's not gone and castled. What is it that they're trying to create? And that's a nice little pattern. So for me, I could take the knight with the bishop. He can still take with his bishop here, with a check on my king. I take, and then his queen takes, and then he's on my bishop as well with a check. So that doesn't look like a pretty picture, does it? It sounds to me like I'm going to have to bring my bishop back. It sounds to me like I'm going to have to bring my bishop back for an equal exchange. If I bring the bishop back, if his knight then takes the pawn, our knight can take back freely. His bishop takes, we take, and then he gets the 20 pointer because my king's not castled. Is there anything else? I don't think there is anything else. I think I'm going to have to bring my bishop back. Like I say, if I do take, or if I castle. If I castle, I still lose that pawn. If I castle, bishop takes the knight. Pawn takes, queen takes, it's on my bishop. Yeah, so there's a bit of a problem with my bishop being there. I'm going to bring the bishop back. So he's creating an unusual, strange position now. So this is where my white square bishop's got no protection on it, so it's potentially going to get attacked. Yeah, what move is that? Move 9. So it might not be a long game after all. You have to watch these clever players. I'm trying to work out what it is that they're trying to do and trying to block off what it is that they're trying to do, rather than focusing on my potential attacks, which has been a failing in the way that I've operated, because I can get really good positions, on the board, but then it's at the expense of the opponent sneaking in a little bit of a attack on my king area, which then leaves me in a disadvantage. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I'm trying to get an equalization here, but it's always one move that is the error. I can't really see an error in that move, but it might be a set player thing that this opponent's playing, because he's confident, he's not castled, he's pressuring areas. My white square bishop's not got any protection on, just reminding myself. His knight can still take the pawn, knight takes back, but he's not. I don't think that's a good sacrifice for them. Can he stop my king from castling? His white square bishop might get into the action and just attack my white square bishop, because then his queen is on that diagonal, stopping my king from castling on the king side. So that might be something that they do. What would I do in that case? Would I bring my queen up to e2 to defend the bishop? Something like that. Then my c2 pawn has not got any protection on his, but his queen can't come down because the knight's there. Okay, so that's something to think about. If his bishop comes down to the a6, we bring our queen up to e2. because there's nothing worse than having your king being prevented from castling. But I don't know what the opponent's going to do. That's the key. One of the key things, that the bishop attacking our bishop, so his queen stops our king. That would be a big thing in terms of them having a power base on the board. So we'll just wait and see what's happening. I'm just talking away here because obviously this guy's taking the time, which is good. It's 45 minutes and 15 seconds. You know, in the over the board games, you know, you go there, you take your packed lunch and stuff like that, and you know, you spend the whole time, you know, because it's an experience. That, I think this is the massive difference between over the board and online, because I go there for the experience, the feel, the aestheticness, you know, the ability to be able to go walk around and look at other people's games, you know, while you're thinking of your game. It's really good, you know. You can go off, just have a snack or whatever it is, go and sit and chill in the gardens if they've got nice gardens. So there's a whole range of stuff, and you know, you can go and chat with people as well, you know, not too much though, because that breaks my concentration on the game. But yeah, it's a good thing. You can go and buy stuff from the chess shop as well, or just have a look at stuff and see if you get any inspiration for anything. Actually, not looking at looking for any hints and tips, but you know, just looking around. So that's the vast difference between the over the board game and the this online stuff. Like now, this person's thinking, I'd have been up, walking around, having a look at my club players' games, if there's any players from my club playing, looking at the top table. Yeah, looking at the top table, having a look at how they're playing their games, and going, oh, I wouldn't have done that, or oh my god, that's quite surprising, do you know what I mean? So it's a whole massive difference. You know, people say, what's the difference between OTB and online? That is it. It's the experience. It's just a whole different ball game. This is just flat online. I'm playing one player, I'm sitting watching their time go down, and nothing much else to do. I can't go shooting off. I'm actually recording, obviously. So this is my own version of, like, you know, the fair play type thing, doing my videos. So I did the video of the first one. I've done doing the video of this one here, and just in case anyone goes, well, you know, blah blah blah. I'm just here saying, well, no, I like doing my own personal streams of chess. I'm just trying to check how I'm developing and what I need to work on, and time management, strategy, planning along the way. This helps understand that, you know, hey, I'm not an engine user. Oh, he's gone for I think it's simple. No, it's not. It's the pawn. Ah, oh, damn. It's the knight pawn. Oh, can you Adam and Eve it? But he can't. If he gets that, goes for the pawn with his knight, then his queen gets taken. So I don't need to and ah too much. I think he'll come and attack our bishop though. Oh, I nearly had a heart attack then. Okay. Right. That's enough talking. Yeah, he's come for the bishop. He's moved dead quick there now. I mean, we could take his pawn here, but we're not going to do that just yet. And before we move, can the queen attack his at all? Not yet. So let's bring the bishop here. He moved there dead quick now. He did all that thinking and then he's moved dead quick. Did he realise that his queen, after he'd done that move, his queen was actually under attack? I thought he was just going to take then. Let's see, I think this pawn's going to move so that the bishop, white square bishop, can come here maybe, so that the knight can attack this area here. I think he's trying his best to try and stop me from castling. Okay, right, Yeah, that was a stunner. I think it's because, you know, they take so long on the move, then you think there's going to be some serious devastation from that move. Luckily, I think, well, fingers crossed anyway, we seem to have ironed out this slight issue of this E pawn for now. Now it's just about the B pawn for me. It's always weak in that area. He may decide to go on castle now. But if he pushes this pawn here down, then we know that he wants his knight to come here to attack this pawn. But we can still go on castle, and then the rook will be defending this area, won't it? Yes. Oh, dearie me. And plus I was doing all that talking and then he suddenly moved. I got caught by surprise. I don't think I'll talk so much now. But I suppose it fills the gaps. Yeah, it fills the gaps in the recording, and it helps me to appreciate my love of chess still. And I'm sure people think, God, aren't you bored of playing chess now? It's the same old stuff all the time. Well, it really isn't. It really isn't. Each game is different. Even if it looks the same as a previous game that you've had, the concepts later on in the game, the beginning parts might be, but then later on in the game, really it's about using the concepts. If you're wanting to develop, it's about using the concepts that you've developed for yourself to try and take advantage of better weaknesses from your opponent. Because it's all about really waiting for your opponent to make a mistake, really, because every game of chess is a draw unless somebody makes a mistake. So if they don't make a mistake, then it's a draw. So all I'm sitting here waiting for is the opponent to make one tiny mistake so that we can try and take advantage of something. I'm looking at the board now. We haven't castled yet at the moment. We've been doing our defensible moves to prevent the opponent so far getting a stronghold on, especially the E pawn, well, on our weak areas. I don't need to be specific about what areas, but on our weak areas, our opponent's really been quite aggressive, bringing out their queen, targeting that E pawn. The whole concept was around targeting that E pawn. It might still continue. It's not saying that I've actually circumvented that attack. One key thing I'm just thinking is his queen is out in the middle of the board, but I don't want to chase it unless of course he wants to get it trapped somehow. And one of those strange things that I really can't make work is I've got the two bishops. The die-hard chess players, they would go, oh, I've got the two bishops. I'm like going, well, two bishops don't mean no difference to me. You know, it's how you play the, you know, with your pieces on the board. So yes, I've got the two bishops, so in the eyes of maybe the purist, they'll probably go, well, you've got a slight edge. I don't feel like I've got a slight edge just yet. I feel it's very even Stevens. My B pawn is I don't like it. I've not castled, and he's still oh, he's castled. He's castled. Okay, before we go rushing castling though, don't want to fall into any chats because of his white square bishop coming down and angling. I think I can go on castle though. It's queen, queen, queen. I'm going to castle. Yeah. Okay, so that's one problem out of the way. Now what is probably, going to be focusing on, like I said, is this white square bishop and this knight coming in front of our king area. So our bishops are sort of stuck in the middle of the board. This pawn is under attack. He's defending that pawn. It's moving quick. It's moving quick. Queen has got this diagonal preventing our f pawn from actually moving, which is not, that's dirty play in my eyes. And he's also preventing the bishop from moving here. So they're being quite clever, actually. So should I just move my king? Yeah, so that then I can get this pawn activated. Or should I bring my bishop here to then attack the queen this way? Yeah, it's going to come for the b pawn. The b pawn is my weakness. I'm going to bring my bishop here and bring it up to there. He's going to move the queen, you might see that. But all of the moves I'm trying to make are defensible moves on the obvious positions that the opponent's got. It's blocking off this pawn. That's a power base, is that. Can't move this pawn up because then the queen would take the pawn, you know. So if the rook comes in, it comes here, say, yeah, I can't move my bishop because the queen would then take the bishop for free. So it's little tiny small things that I've seen and experienced and delivered myself throughout my years, and it's not saying I'm winning at all. It's just a better understanding of how it is that the players actually. This guy, he's playing some top quality moves personally, and his actual over the board rating is only, what is it, 1100? No, 1100. No, 10,000. Whatever it is, 1000. It's not a high rating. Oh, He's come to block the bishop attack. Yeah. I'm not happy. Not happy. Our pawn can push onto his queen. I'm going to push the pawn onto the queen. Bishop's protecting here. Nothing's attacking our queen at the minute. Oh, the bishop can. His bishop can come here. Damn. And I can't move this pawn, so I can move my queen. He can always move back and still keep that diagonal though, can't he? And then we can push this, but then he pushes that pawn down. So he capturing this pawn, he still has the pawn. He has a replication pawn, so that bishop attack is not going to be fruitful after that. Ah, damn. Too clever. Too clever. He's moved it off, but he's gone to a dangerous diagonal, which is here. If we take this pawn, he's still got the two pawns in the centre. That's good. That's quite powerful, isn't it? I feel like I've missed a trick in this game somewhere. Just capture diagonal onto his king. Doesn't mean anything because he's going to be pushing this pawn down. Bring the rook here. You can still push it. Not good, not good. Can't push this pawn yet. Well, I can move that, but then his white square bishop's going to come here. Ah, man. Well, you can't beat cleverness. If his pawn takes, we can attack his rook with our bishop to look a bit active. Yeah, go into b5. Might take it. I think he'll link the pawns up. Two centre pawns like that's pretty deadly. So we normally try to wipe the centre pawns out. So in this particular game here, this is going to be difficult for us now because we haven't, and he's got two centre pawns. The bishop comes here attacking his rook. His rook moves down still, feeling nice and comfy. And the bishop's got no protection on it. So maybe that's not a good attack. Let's The whole world knows you're taking this pawn. Like, you know that. Right. I'm gonna have to take my time on my next moves. It's just that some of them look pretty obvious to make, so I don't want to waste time on stuff that's obvious. I want to use my time on the crucial. Ideal position would be for my queen to be here, attacking this pawn. I don't think that's going to happen because this knight is going to stay there unless we get this bishop here and attack like so. This pawn is coming down. My mouth's getting dry now with all this talking. I might have to take a break as well, actually. Yeah. I cannot believe they took with the knight. I'm not saying that's not a winning thing, I just thought they would have linked up the centre pawns. So that's thrown my whole mental bit out now. He's attacking here twice, but he wants me to protect with this pawn, doesn't he? And then his queen can take our so I can protect with this pawn here, but a dancing knight, where's he actually wanting to go? Can he get a check on my king? If we protect here, we don't even have to protect there, we can push there onto the pawn, but then he doesn't have to take, he can push down himself. Don't really want to be getting into a defensive mode thing here. If we push, he can push down. He can push down. We can then go here with the bishop x-raying through to his rook. His rook then moves across. The only thing that was protecting this pawn was the bishop. If the bishop takes the knight, the queen takes. The queen is then on, not on my pawn yet. Right, let's do that again. So if we push here, it doesn't have to take, but if he did take, the bishop takes and the bishop's on the rook. Rook moves down. Where is this knight? Knight. Push, or if he pushes down, let's say he pushes down, then we go here with the bishop, x-raying through to the rook. Rook comes here attacking the pawn, taking itself off of the line. So where's the pawn? The pawn's there. The bishop takes. Queen takes. We can defend by pushing this pawn here. I don't know. Let's push that. I might be overthinking, and they've got some mad serious plan here. I can't see it. That knight move has actually thrown me because I thought they were just going to simplify and have a strong centre with these two pawns. So I'm hoping that that's a big thing that they've missed, but I don't know how to develop from here. I don't know. I'm feeling like my king's all tucked away, but the bishop can't come here yet. I'm a knight man, aren't I? And I fear the knights more than the bishops because of their dance ability. And they get forks all over the place. And does he take or not? He does take, so we go with these simple. I think I'm falling into something here. Let's go here. We're attacking the rook. Just bear that in mind. I think I'm falling into some sort of trap. What is the trap? Our queens are opposite each other at the minute. He doesn't have any protection on his queen. Our dark square bishop can't go and attack anything to get that. I don't know, but I don't get it at the moment. Take my finger off of the mouse. I'm not getting it, but we're trying our best to understand what they can actually do. Maybe getting these rooks doubled up will make me feel better. Let's move the rook now, so we can put the x-ray on with the bishop. We can go here, x-raying through to the rook. I think he's looking to plan to come around in front of my king area. So if I go here, then I think his rook's doing a rook rover. If I take, then his queen takes. Is there anything else? That's my first move, just to do something with the bishop. This queen. Pawn. Rook. If we know he's going to do a rook rover, this white square bishop, everything's going to attack around there, isn't it? Bishop controlling this square, but now his rook is actually defending the queen, so I think he's going to be doing something funky, isn't he, as well? Could move the bishop, but it's away from their king area. The whole idea is I'm going to do the x-ray. I can't see anything else really. I have the fear of he's building up this pressure towards my king area, but I don't know. I don't know. Do I actually take the knight anyway, or am I not interested in that? Do I double up? Because my bishop can move and put pressure on his queen. I don't know. Do we go here with... I better stop doing that. What did I say? I've got to stop hovering. Ah dear. Well, it's turned out to be a bit of a meaty game. I think then maybe his white square bishop's probably coming out so that he can double his rooks up. That gives him a power base, doubling the rooks up. So do we attempt to bring our rook into this gate, into this file? Get the queen off of the back, get this rook behind here. All seems a bit long, but maybe this file might work for us, maybe. So I think bishop's going to come here, defending the knight. So if we did take, then he takes, then he's in a stronger position. Yeah, that, okay. I'm starting to feel it a bit. Oh, he's actually attacking our bishop. Yeah, because through our bishop is our rook. So if we took his knight, then he takes our rook, I take his rook, his queen takes. Interesting. Well, I don't really like his knight being there, do I? Don't really like his knight. If I take his bishop, his queen takes. queen looks nice and powerful over in that corner, doesn't it? If I bring my queen to e2, doubling up the attack. But then if I bring my queen here, if he does take, then I take with my queen. So it's advancing my queen up the board. Can his rook come and attack? You can, but then I can take it. If I go here, then his knight, what's his knight? Is his knight going to do some funky dance? No, because the bishop will take it here. Could go there, but then we'll take his bishop. Queen could come here to defend, but then we take the bishop. He's got the rook defending, so I think he could allow us to go and do that anyway. So the c pawn that we've got looks a little bit flaky actually. If we take the knight, we're on his rook and his rook, so his queen will take. It's on a white square. My rook would have to come here, and that does not look like a nice position for us. That's giving them the whole all. I'm going to go here with the queen. I don't like games like these. What did I say right at the very beginning? I don't want a tough game like this, and I knew this player was going to do it because obviously, you know, look like they're a member or something. They've got some sort of fancy flag on here, but their over the board rating is, what did I say it was? Was it 1000 or something? I mean, mine's 1307 or 1308 or something like that, but their over the board rating is a lot lower. But online on here, they've got a fairly decent rating. So it proves again the point that I've always said. I wouldn't look at people's ratings in terms of like their over the board or based on their online rating either, because I've seen high online rating people play real over the board games, and they suffer disadvantages quite often. And so it's a different ball game, playing online and playing for real. It really is a different ball game, not just about all the experience stuff that we're talking about, but in general, moving the pieces, the 3D aspects of it all, the clicking the clock, the writing the notations down, the sort of personal habits they've captured. So the idea was I'm capturing here, but I feel like I'm falling into a trap. I feel like I'm falling into a trap somehow. Now my bishop has got no protection on it, so does his knight do something funky? Like attack my queen, yeah. So if he comes up and attacks my queen, I'd have to come back down to protect my bishop. Okay. So this is probably what you would call now like the end game stage in real terms, and I think owning this file, he's got the queen support in this file here, so owning this file might be a crucial thing for us, for our rooks anyway. He's done the move that I said, yeah. So we could attack his queen, yeah. Don't move it yet. We could attack his queen because the bishop's then protecting, so then the bishop would be here. His queen doesn't have to take, and he looks like that sort of player that's not going to take the queen. So where does he go? If we go here, he can mosey on down, he can go back up. Go there. I'm going to see if he wants to do it. I don't see a major, unless I'm totally missing something here. I don't think he's going to exchange. Where's he going though? Goes back a bit, goes across towards my king somehow. Bring the rook here behind the bishop. But it's allowing him to double up. I don't... okay, we'll see what he does. Don't want to overhurt my brain now. It's at these stages where you start to flag. Yeah, it's not exchanging. It's not interested. It's attacking the pawn. It's attacking the pawn, but he's secretly maybe mobilizing to here. Also here, knight coming down. Which rook? Let's bring this rook. Bishop's eyeing up, attacking the knight. Obviously the knight can move. I think the knight's just going to come back here again, attack my queen. But again, he's probably wanting to get his rook activated, attacking the bishop. Oh, dear me. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I don't feel like I'm in a strong enough position yet at all, in any way, shape. I've been doing a lot of defensible work here all the way through this game. It's been defense, 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 and I'm not prodding through at a proper attack at all yet. That's what's causing me concern in the game. Yeah, it's been defense, defense, defense. When is it going to turn into a proper counter attack? Well, I hope all the other games aren't as tough as this one. The first one, obviously, that was like 8.5 minutes or something, so this is a stark difference to that. But I'm happy that I've done my bits of training for this this congress. So each of the congresses that I'm going to, I'm doing some serious training for them. Oh, here we go. He's coming for a checkmate. Look at that, man. What did I say? Eyeing up. Checkmate. If we push this pawn up, his pawn pushes down. Suppose the queen can take. Let's just push the pawn. No messing about. We wondered why this rook rover thing was coming here. Yeah. Little sly queen move there. Very aggressive player. Yeah. Targeting. One of the key things that I hope the mantra is going to hold true is the rooks don't have any place in the centre of the board. And I'm wanting to try and make that run true for against this opponent, because now this rook is not linked with its other rook yet, unless there's a sacrifice that I'm missing. If he pushes the pawn, the queen can take, but if he maybe he's going to push this pawn here to support. So do we try and go for another exchange with the queen, x-raying through to the rook? Obviously his knight's protecting. Like I said, I don't have any attacks yet. I'm defending, still defending now. The opponent's constantly attacking. I'm hoping that they run out. I'm hoping that the mantra runs through. The rook doesn't have any place in the centre of the board. I hope their steam and their position runs out and they don't have any places left to attack. And then I can then get a counter attacking, please. All this defensive work is like, it's killing me. need to just move the mouse and leave it alone. What's his magic? Okay, so he's now got the diagonal, he's got the direction towards attacking my king area, so he could continue trying to keep that pressure on the king area by pushing pawns down, you know, basically giving his king a flight square or something like that, because of, you know, the fear of the back rank checkmate. So just continued pressure, so that then he releases space around his rook. And he's moved his rook out of the line of fire on that one, but he's supporting this pawn. I'm actually going to attack the queen again, also trying to block this pawn off. He's not going to exchange, and I might have moved too fast. I didn't even give that, well, I've talked about that move earlier, but he's not going to exchange. He's going to do something, and I'm trying to get some activity going for myself, mainly defending my king area. This queen's probably going to come here with a check. That allows us, the bishop, to come here and put pressure on his knight. And I need my rooks on that open space, on one of those open files. It's blocked. Damn. You know, don't you just Could attack the knight, but I don't know where this knight's wanting to go. This knight jumped there dead quick. He's wanting to do something. If we attack the knight with the pawn, he can go there, so he's getting all his pieces mobilized around my king. Can go here attacking my queen, but then I take his queen, but then his rook takes, and then he's on the pawn. Oh, I don't know. Where else is his knight going? He's not going to go to these areas, so he'll come round and attack the queen. So then the queen, do I actually take him? I'm going to attack the knight. If he comes that, oh dear me, we must be what the last ones playing must be, surely. Crikey sake. I know loads of others would have finished by now. Yesterday when I looked, people had finished like in like half an hour, 45 minutes. Nobody had gone like the full mashings, 45 minutes plus 45 minutes each. We're talking like an hour and a half there without the increment. This is, I don't know. Where's this knight going? It's going to attack my queen over in the top. F6. Could go there, I suppose, but that's not meaty enough for this player. This player is an attacking beast, and I've not been allowed to get my attacks off at all. Defense, defense, defense. Preying on the fact that that rook has no place in the center of the board, trying to take advantage of the defense work. If his knight does move, we do then eventually get his queen off the board, but is it to our benefit? That is my next question. It's gone for, oh, that's not what we wanted though, is it? I wanted my bishop to come here. But now if my bishop goes there, his knight just takes and my queen won't be able to take back. Oh dear. Do we want to go, let's just look. If we go here, is this rook in the middle of the board going to be doing some damage after all? We go here. his knight comes down, then it's attacking this pawn. Or is it, can his queen, his queen can come here. Ah, shit. No, we have to go here. God, it's a good job we took our time then. I naturally would have gone over there. We have to go here. Because if his queen came down here, he'd get checkmate with this rook. Oh my gosh. Oh, I bet he's still got it, hasn't he? Funky knight stuff. Oh, he's making this rook work for him. Unbelievable. No way. It can't still be on, can it? Queen, no. Rook, no. There. So we're still on his knight. So he has to move his knight, but he can do it freely now because I can't take his queen. But I can bring my bishop here and attack his queen once his knight's moved. So we're x-raying through to his rook knight now with the bishop. I moved a bit quick again there, sorry, I shouldn't do that because there could be something else going on. I need to calm down. Oh my gosh, did you see that attack? Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. Defense, 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 that's all we've been doing throughout this game. Oh my life. I've not been able to practice my attacking form whatsoever. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh my life. I wonder if this player would accept a draw. I'm gonna offer a draw because he's hurting my head. I don't think we're besting each other. I just think give it some thought. You give it some thought. I think the draw offer seems fair to me. I know I shouldn't. I've said in my blogs and stuff, I should try and go for wins where I can and this, that and the other. I'm just thinking I've got like a pass pawn in the middle here. Yeah, potentially that has potential, but I don't know the way this guy's playing. And plus he's got a rook that's in the middle of the board, but he can always bring that back out again. So I think I'm fair enough for in a draw. We've gone through 27 moves. I'm ahead on time, so I'm being fair, I think. If they don't, then we're just gonna have to keep on playing defense, defense, defense until the opportunity arises. But that was mean. Wow, that was a good shot. That last one there with the queen potentially just jumping into this little square here. Oh, I'm pressuring this pawn. Unbelievable. I think that's what set my brain off. I'm like thinking, nah, this guy's too good. Spotting little tiny things like that. Right. I think he's going to accept the draw. He's got to accept it. Come on. He's got a 2-on-1. Well, mind you, I've got a 2-on-1 as well, but I was just going to say he's got a 2-on-1 with his queen, but the queen can't take the pawn because the rook will take the queen. He's still thinking about it. Taking a long time to accept this draw. You must accept it. You must. Surely. Come on. Right, have I got any water left? There we go, right. We've both played well. Let's move on. Come on. We've got other games in the afternoon. Oh, in fact, I've got my arena. I've got my own arena set up for 12 o'clock. So we need to be finished. Let's go. I need an hour's rest. So it's 11 o'clock now. So let me get ready for my own arena. And then we'll come back in the afternoon. Oh, what do you mean you don't want to take the draw? Come on. You're not going to lose face by accepting the draw. Look at the situation. Come on. Plus side for doing it online is I can talk as much as I want. Because over the board you can't talk, so that's a massive difference for playing online. But really and truly, there's no comparison. I like over the board a lot better, and the online stuff is nice for practice or whatever, but it's nowhere near the quality of play or anything. Playing over the board is totally different. If you don't know what I mean, I would suggest, if you've only played online ever, play a few games over the board with decent people who are of a good level, not basic people who you can just wipe the floor with in 2 seconds flat, and you'll see the difference. Must have gone for a lunch break or something. Well, I know we can let our time run down quite low because it's a 15-second increment, so you can easily get that back up again if you au fait with the blitzy type, bullet type stuff. Looks like they're searching for a winning line, and they potentially will find it the way that this player's been playing. They've been spotting attack lines all the way through the game. There's been really no let up, so all I've been doing is defending, which I'm quite shocked at, really. I'm quite surprised, but we've dealt with it up to this point. But at this point here, after that last move, I'm like thinking, I don't think that there's me personally, I don't think if this player's playing the level that they're playing at, the way that they're playing, I don't really see any way in for me, so that's why I've offered a draw. If it continues, we have to continue, that's fine. We'll see if we can keep on defending as best possible, and maybe just find a draw line, or if they make a mistake, then we take advantage and get an advantage in the game. But currently at this moment in time, no, I can't see it, not with the way that they're playing. Well, the most annoying thing will be is if they let it run to 10 seconds and then they accept the draw. I'm not too chuffed and pleased about that type of behaviour. So if you're accepting it, just accept it. Yeah, they've let it come down to all that. They could have just accepted it ages ago. Right, okay, well played. Bit tough on the old game there, but never mind. Well played, good game. Off we go. I think, anyway.